Hello, everyone. My name is Zaheen Nanji, and I'm your host for the show, Attract Your Ideal Weight. Now, you'll wonder, attract your ideal weight, what that's all about. Well, I wrote a book about it, and it's Attract Your Ideal Weight. It's an award-winning book, 8 Secrets of People Who Lose Weight and Keep It Off. Now, Attract Your Ideal Weight is a blend of Law of Attraction and NLP. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Neuro is what you're thinking in your head, linguistics, what you're saying, what you're thinking, and it's this constant loop that we have. And so the study of NLP is how do we think, and the way we think guides the way we behave. And my job in Attract Your Ideal Weight was how to change behaviors when it comes to weight loss. All right, so today you'll be so excited. We're going to talk about the poop method. No, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Poop method. I actually came up with the poop method when I was writing an article for my book tour. And speaking about book tours, it's coming up here soon, December 15th, 2014 to January 15th, 2015. And book tour, it's not like I'm going everywhere all over the world, but my book is going everywhere. It's going all over, from Sri Lanka to the States, Canada, to maybe even Dubai, who knows. But I'm going to be interviewed by radio shows. I'm going to be on blogs, and on and on. So go on my website, attractyouриdealweight.com, and you'll see an image where it says virtual book tour. Go in there and enter to win 2 prizes during the tours, but you can enter it now if you like, so make sure you do that. Another thing, if you want to know more about what I do and the hangouts that I have, then go into Attract Your Ideal Weight community. It's right on my website as well, attractyouриdealweight.com. Get into the community and you'll get way more than what you're getting anywhere else. So make sure you go on there, ask to join, and I'll invite you in. And that's all on my website. Okay, so you're ready to learn about poop today? Before we go ahead, I want my guests, Judy and Penny, to introduce themselves. So Judy, would you like to go first and tell us what you do, and that you have your own hangout show too?
Oh, yeah. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Judy Gary. I'm a certified law of attraction facilitator, just like Zaheen and Penny are. And I'm the founder of highvibeacademy.com, and I host my own Hangout with Judy show every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I actually specialize in cleansing negative vibration to support the healing and manifestation process. And I'm so excited to be here with Zaheen and Penny and all of you tonight to learn about the poop theory.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Judy. Penny.
Oh, hi, Zaheen. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Penny Petty, and I'm from Musaga Beach, Ontario, Canada. And I, as well as Zaheen and Judy, certified law of attraction trainer. And I have a coaching practice, Penny for Your Thoughts. And I teach people about the importance of our thoughts, because everything is a vibration. And when we project out there, we're going to get it back to us. So I help people change the way they think. And I have my own hangout show, hangoutwithpenny.com, and there my show is about to uplift and inspire and empower women to live their best, men too, but it's mostly for women, to live their best life. And Zaheen, you're on my show January 2nd as part of your virtual book tour.
That's right, and I can't wait to be on there. So Penny is going to be interviewing me on my book, Attract Your Ideal Weight, 8 Secrets of People Who Lose Weight and Keep It Off. So let's get on to the poop method. Honestly, it's not what you think. It stands for 4 things. Plan ahead, right there. Obstacle mastery, right there. Okay, so you can see the jigsaw puzzle right there. And outcome orientation, as well as the last one, play with food. Okay, so we'll go through all that. But first, let's start with plan ahead. You know, when I get clients who come and see me for my coaching program, they come up with things like, I don't have time. I'm in conferences and meetings all the time, and my clients are high executive clients who honestly, yes, don't have time. But the first thing that I say to them is, listen, you went throughout your life to get to where you are today. You put yourself into college. You put yourself into university. And some even have their masters. So they took all those years to get to where they want. Why? Because one, it's important to them. Two, it secured their future. So let me ask you this. Why can't we apply the same principle to our health? Why can't we plan ahead for our health? Same way that we plan for our life, plan for our money, plan for security. Same way. So plan for your health. So this is what I want you to do, is I want you to look ahead every week. Every week, look ahead and notice, when can you plan ahead to make sure that you have meals in place, instead of what most of my clients did in the past, would go to a drive-through, have a coffee and muffin or bagel, and then lunchtime comes again, they're in restaurants and they're ordering the wrong foods, or again, they're going through drive-thrus, and then on their way home from work, they'll go through a drive-thru again. Why? Because they haven't planned ahead. Even people who travel, same kind of, I didn't have control over my food, and I go, really? You didn't? We all have control somewhere, okay? So let me give you my example, and then we'll go to Judy and Gary. I mean, Judy Gary and Penny Penny. Judy and Penny, and they can share their examples. So most of you know me, that I coach. I also have a wellness clinic with my husband. But he's there full-time and I'm not. And I also speak a lot, like I go speaking. And so my other website is my name, zahinnanji.com, and I'm known as the Resilience Champion because that's what I speak about. So you must be thinking, oh, she does a lot. But guess what? A lot of people don't know. I work full-time too. I have a contract with the government here where I am, and I work full-time. And I am a mother to a 9-year-old. So when do you think I have time? The only time I have is Sundays because I work 6 days a week. And so I look ahead at my week and I go, okay, Monday I'm with a client, Tuesday I'm with a client, and Wednesday. So I better cook for 3 days, and I make sure I have, lunches and, dinners ready. So I make 2-3 meals on a Sunday to make sure that my week is fine. So I'm not rushing to buy burgers and fries, or we're not going out to eat all the time, because that's where we spend a lot of money, is in food. So, Judy, you agree with me? I know you have kids, and I know that you're also busy. Give us an example of what you do.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I really believe in planning ahead. Sundays are kind of my days I kickstart. Sunday's the first day of my week, so I try to get a lot of things done on Sundays as well as relax on Sundays, which I've done both today. So that way, it makes my week easier, because once Monday starts, I'm homeschooling my son, I'm working, I'm doing classes, I'm coaching clients, and of course I have a husband too. And I found, especially in the wintertime, it's so easy just to make crock pot meals. And the soups and things like that, you can actually make a huge thing of it, and then take half of it and freeze it. So every time I cook, I will actually make a huge pot of it, that way so that I can freeze it for later. And then sometimes on the weekends I'm busy, so I can just go pull something out of the freezer that I've already cooked a few weeks ago and just let it thaw out, and I'm ready to go. So I'm real big about the planning ahead. And one thing I'll ask myself often is, what can I do today that will make tomorrow easier?
Wow.
And then it's like suddenly I realize that, I have 15 minutes on my hands. I can jump in there and cut up some celery, or, bag it up and make it simpler to eat. Because that's another thing, too, is like buying grapes and things. If they're not picked off the stem, we have a tendency to not eat them. But if I pick them off and put them in little baggies, like snack baggies, we'll grab them and go. So it makes it a whole lot easier.
Wow, those are great examples, Judy. And yeah, that is one thing that I always tell my clients, is make sure that you freeze and you make ahead. Penny, what about you?
Well, planning for me, planning ahead, one of the most important meals, we hear this often, but I totally believe it, and that is breakfast. And because I teach people about vibration, everything has a vibration. Our food has a vibration. So when we're going through that drive-thru and grabbing that bagel and muffin, they're actually low vibration foods. Once in a while, that's okay, but on a regular basis, we need to put food in our body that is a higher vibration, that's healthier for us. So breakfast, to begin your day with that higher vibration food, and it can be easy if you plan ahead, because smoothies are one of the easiest and one of the most nutritious breakfasts you can have. You can put your yogurt in there, you can put so much in there. So just plan ahead by having proper foods in your refrigerator that you can make a quick smoothie with, and you can take it on the go. It takes like literally seconds to prepare, and you can take it and drink it on the go. And it's less messy than eating muffins and stuff. but also we can make egg white. We can make healthier muffins that are made with eggs and vegetables, and we can put them in muffin tins, bake them ahead of time, and grab those in the morning with a piece of fruit. I mean, so even if we're busy, we can still incorporate really good healthy breakfasts into our planning if we just take that moment, plan ahead, and when we shop from the list of what we're going to need, and it just makes and your whole day is started with a very good vibrational lift, and yeah, just you feel so much better. And then those slumps throughout the day, or they don't come as often. So breakfast, plan ahead. Even if it means getting up 15 minutes earlier, breakfast is so important.
Thanks, Penny. Yeah, you're completely right. And that really reminded me of the time when I started to change my relationship with food. And that was back in 2000 when I got my job, my first job. And I had to drive an hour to work and an hour back. And what happened was I would go to McDonald's, but I would go to McDonald's and I would grab a coffee and their big egg muffin with like cheese and stuff in it, and I would eat that. Well, I gained weight, like in 2-3 months, I gained so much weight. And then I realized, what am I doing? I can get up early and I can make something. Well, I completely changed. I started to make smoothies, and you're right, like I put some whey protein and some strawberries and a banana, and that's what I would drink all the way to my work for the 1 hour, and I wouldn't even feel hungry by the time coffee break, came around. All right, those are awesome examples. Let's go to the next one, obstacle mastery. Do you see the jigsaw puzzle there? Obstacle mastery. Okay. So what's that about? Well, in my 6-week coaching program, I always tell people, I want you to envision the next 6 weeks. And I want you to tell me whatever obstacles are going to come up, list them up, and then we'll start to strategize. And so this is my advice to you, is if you want to start anything or if you want to change your lifestyle, think about the first 4 to 6 weeks and envision any obstacles that will come. Maybe it's a conference that you are going to. Maybe it is a holiday supper that is coming up, maybe recently, that you're going to. Maybe it's like, for me, I know when I used to get trained in the States for my coaching, I would have to stay there for like 5 days. And of course I want to save money, but I want to eat healthy too instead of eating at restaurants all the time. And so obstacle mastery is not about overcoming obstacles. We always hear that, overcome your obstacles, overcome. No. They'll always be there. So know that they'll always be there. But reframe it in a way that you think about it as controlling your obstacles. It's not about overcoming, but how are you going to master them and control them so that you are in control? Okay? So when I go for my meetings, or when I used to go for my trainings, I would pack oatmeal, the packaged oatmeals in my suitcase, and I would make oatmeal in the morning because I was not going to go downstairs and have a muffin and coffee because that just did not agree with me, and it's not healthy. Okay? For snacks, I would grab the tuna cans with the crackers that you get. You can even get them at dollar stores here in Canada. But that's what I would take, is the tuna cans. You can also buy jerky. I would also take that with me. some bars that I could take. So those are all good, healthy stuff. And I can't believe how many people would come to those trainings without any kind of snacks, and then they would be so hungry and famished by the time that we had to go out for a meal. Like even nuts or almonds are a good snack. So Penny, why don't we start with you? Give us an example of how you master obstacles.
Well, you said about nuts, and one really good way is to always keep nuts. The shelf life is forever practically. You can always keep, almonds are so healthy, keep a little snack pack baggie of almonds in your purse at all times. So when that hunger all of a sudden, or you're going to have that late meeting, you have that. And keep water. Water can fill you up. Water is our life force. So water is very essential for a healthy vibration, a healthy life. Keep water with you. And another thing, the holidays are coming up, and there's going to be parties, there's going to be lots of food, and those choices are not always healthy. So one thing you can do, it can kind of go to the planning ahead as well, is eat before you go. So if you're going to go to a dinner at 6 o'clock and you're home and it's around 4 o'clock, have that salad or have a smoothie or have something that's going to like help your hunger, and then when you get there you're going to eat less, and because it's okay to indulge once in a while. And I know your book, Saheen, you actually touch on that about take one cookie, right? So if you are already have something in your stomach to hold you over, you're going to limit the amount of food that you then take and eat when you're out at these parties. So it's all about choices, and so if we can kind of help the obstacles by preparing a little bit along the way, that helps too. Yeah.
That's great. How about you, Judy?
Well, for me, Penny touched on the water and stuff, but I just want to add to that is that, for me, I always have something to drink with me, always. Like, you will never see me out without something to drink. I mean, I have 2 bottles of water sitting right here beside me just in case I get super thirsty. But one thing about it is my husband and my son, they joke with me all the time because in my car, I actually keep bottled water in my car. And my husband and they're like, why do you have so much water in here? I'm like, because, when we go out and about, suddenly you get thirsty. And I know myself, I have a tendency to stop at the gas station, run in and pay $1.50 for a big soda, when if I have water in the car, I can drink my water instead. So that saves me from stopping and allowing myself to go for the soda. I go for the water instead. So that helps me. And another thing is talking about, Penny was talking about putting nuts and things in your purse. I carry like protein bars in my purse because I do have those little moments to where it's just like it's out of the blue. I just suddenly get hungry. It's like I suddenly want something to eat and I want it now. So I can just grab it out of there and I can chew on it, and it actually cures the cravings for food, And then whenever I get somewhere else, and I do eat less, which is always a good thing.
Saheen, may I just mention one important point?
Yeah.
I love Judy talking about the water, because to have water with us at all times is very important, because many times we will mistake in hunger for thirst. Mm-hmm. And so we're reaching for that something to eat when really what we need is something to drink, is water. So,
yeah. That's so true, Penny and Judy, because you're right, and that's one of the things too that I always tell people is drink a glass of water first. Then if you're still hungry after 5 minutes, then go eat. But sometimes it's the false hunger symptom. Mm-hmm. Like we think we're hungry, but it's not really. It's just that we're thirsty. That's awesome. So we're gone through the P and the O of the poop.
Oh.
Let's go through the O and the P. Okay. The next one is outcome orientation. And before we started, Judy goes, outcome with poop, come on. It just brings different images to mind, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this, is so many times we come home and we say things like, I'm too tired to exercise. I've worked so hard, I deserve to sit down and do nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Please sit down and do nothing. Like if you're really, really tired, that's fine. But sometimes we use that as excuses to validate what is really important to us or what we really want to do or have to do. Okay. Another way to think about outcome orientation is, and I get this a lot with my clients who struggle with weight, is they think of the now. They don't think about the consequences. They only think about instant gratification. So to give you an example, let me ask you this. When you go out to eat and you get this menu and you're reading through it and you're like, oh, the pizza sounds so good. Those fries and those nuggets sound so good. Or that spaghetti with the Alfredo creamy sauce sounds so good, right? And your mouth starts to water probably. And what a lot of people who struggle with weight do is that they go for the now. They only go with how it sounds and looks, and that's instant gratification. Let me tell you a secret. Naturally slender individuals have a process in mind, and it's so subconscious that they don't even know about it. What they will do is they will read that menu, but they'll process how that food will make them feel 2 hours later, maybe 3 hours later, because they don't want to be tired, they don't want to be drained, they want to be perked up if they have a meeting after, they don't want to get gassy and bloaty if they eat a meal that they just know will get them there. No, they will process all that in their head, and then they make a decision about what they get. I'm serious about that. That's a secret, but it's not a secret anymore because now you know. So that's called outcome orientation. So Judy, tell me how you could play this, or how you already do now in your life.
Well, I can give you a really good example about today, because on Fridays or Saturdays I plan for my week that's coming up, and then Sundays are the first day of my week, so I go into getting things done on Sunday, by including lots of rest too. So today I've done a lot of stuff, as far as housework and meals and resting and stuff like that. But I also had exercise on my list today to do. There's certain 6 exercises, just crunches, side crunches, and things like that. And all day long I have put them off. And I thought, well, I'll do them after Zaheen's show. And I started thinking to myself, I know what will probably happen is I will probably not do it because it'll be 7:30, 8 o'clock here at my home, and by then I get lazy. So what did I do? I sit there and I thought, it will only take me a few minutes to actually do that. So the orientation, the outcome was that, hey, it'll only take me a few minutes. But when I think, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 30 minutes or an hour to do this, then it's like, oh. But then when I look at it from the point of view that, hey, it's only going to take me a few minutes and then I'm done, and then I can be proud of myself for just getting in there and getting it done. And literally, I had those exercises done in 10 minutes at the most. So that was really nice that I could come on the show, and I already had my exercise done, so now afterwards I get to just chill out for the evening because I've done everything else today. So woohoo, I'm proud of myself.
That's great. So what you did actually, Judy, was that you thought about the outcome and you talked yourself through it. Oh, it'll only take a few minutes and I'll feel so good after I'm done, and then after Zaheen's show I can just chill. So you actually walked yourself through the consequences that if you do it, then guess what? This is what I will feel, and this is how I'll feel, this is what I'll do after. So
yeah.
That's exactly what it means when I say about outcome orientation. Perfect.
And you know, too, that whenever you were saying that, me thinking about doing it after the show, I immediately felt a low vibration from that, because I thought, now you know you're going to be lazy afterwards. You're not going to want to do it. I'd already started feeding myself with that stuff like, girl, you ain't going to do that. You're going to go sit on the couch with some Reese's. What are you talking about? So I feel good that I actually did that. So now my vibration's high because I did what I said I was going to do. So I feel good.
Perfect. How about you, Penny?
Well, there's a few things, and one can be after your grocery shopping. When you come in, you want to get your food put away, but think about what it would be like if you just took a few minutes right now and prepared your celery, cut up your vegetables, have prepared so it's in the fridge, because midweek when you're starting to drag from your week and you're getting tired and you need to go for sometimes we don't want to then take that time to cut up the celery and make that healthy choice. So that's just one good thing. Just take the few minutes now, because the outcome is it's going to be so much better. And exercise is another one for me. And just the thought of walking, it's like, oh man. But Judy and I, we come up, we're a team. She lives in U.S. and I live in Canada, but we have our earphones and we have our phones, and 3 times a week we get together in the morning and we walk. We spend a half an hour walking and then another hour and a half talking. But we know the outcome. We already know now because we've teamed up, so we have a buddy to walk with, and we share high vibes. Sometimes, we need to help through some things that we're dealing with, but we then, when we're done the call, we're ready for our day because we've had good company, we've got our exercise, and we feel good. So I highly recommend having some sort of buddy system to do that, your exercises with, because it really truly does make a difference. Yeah.
That's so true, Penny, because you're right, and that's one of the things that if you have that partner with you that is supporting you, that is there to say, hey, you know what? Remember that walk that you promised? Let's go, come on. That really helps.
There was many times when Judy and we would both say it. You know what? If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't walk today. If it wasn't for having to walk with you, I wouldn't walk today.
Yeah.
So we hold each other accountable too, and when we're done, it's so much better. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're down to the last P that's just hanging in there to poop out. Okay, and the last one is very simple, and it's play with food. Right there, play with food. Now, I want you to think of this simple formula, and it's C square. Okay, it's creative and curiosity. All right, be creative and be curious, and act like or model after a chef. A chef, like if you watch those shows like Chopped, they have just a few ingredients and they need to come up with something creative. And so they get curious about how they're going to do that. And so they take the two things, creative and curiosity, and they come up with something. And they're all honestly really good. Like, I don't know how anyone could fail, but they all do really well on that show. But this is something that you want to model in your kitchen. When I started to eat more paleo-like, which I do now, I was looking for recipes, and I couldn't believe that I could still eat a pizza made out of cauliflower crust or zucchini crust. And so look out there. Look on Yumly, which is a great website for recipes. Look on Facebook for all the groups and pages out there. Find out what you like. If you like vegan stuff, if you like the protein stuff, if you like raw food, like there's all these different diverse food cultures or foodies or whatever they're called. Mm-hmm. Just go and do your search and be curious and be creative, just like a chef. And get in your kitchen and start to play with food. I have to share with you, gals, and with all of you out there. I had this client come on with me here in August or September, and she starts off by saying, Zaheen, you know what? The stuff that you offer in the program is great, but I don't like cooking. I don't want to cook. And I go, listen, you have to cook. There is no ways around that. And then she goes on to tell me, okay, fine. Well, 3 weeks into the program, she tells me, you know what, I can't believe how much I missed cooking. I really enjoy it. And I go, wait a minute, I thought you don't like cooking. She goes, no. She goes, I loved cooking. The only reason I hated it was because my ex-husband did not appreciate what I cooked. Now see the difference there, ladies, about how one thing can change your whole environment and the way you think about something.
Yep.
And now she loves cooking, and she loves the foods that she's making, and she's being curious, and she's being creative. And that's what I want you to do. So let's hear from ladies, Judy and Gary. So who wants to go first? Maybe Judy, you want to go first and let us know how you are creative and curious and played with food?
Well, I get more curious and creative when it comes to soups and things like that. But my husband, he is like the best creative cooker ever because he can go in the kitchen and there hardly be anything in there, and suddenly he's whipped up this cuisine. I mean, it's just amazing. He'll put all kinds of different spices in, and I mean, literally, I always tell him how creative he is, and I love it when he cooks, because he is so creative at doing that. So I always tell him that sometimes I'm going to watch him, but really I'm not going to because I'd rather him cook. So I'm going to let him be the creative one, and I'm going to do the laundry.
Sounds good to me. What about you, Penny?
Well, smoothies for me is the best way to get creative. It's the best way to incorporate vegetables. So you're going to get vegetables for breakfast. Who eats vegetables for breakfast? But you can just take frozen broccoli florets and put it in your smoothie and put turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, raw cocoa powder. Put that all in. Frozen cranberries. Put that all in with almond milk. Blend it all up. Put a little bit of almond butter in there. You have one of the best, most nutritious breakfast, lunch, even dinner. So get creative with your smoothies. I put spinach in there, a coconut, whatever you have, protein powders. Just be so creative. Anything goes pretty much. With a yogurt, anything goes.
Yeah, that's perfect. Those are great examples. And just like you, Judy, my husband is the creative one too, and my daughter loves his cooking compared to mine because mine's too healthy. And if I have made something and there's something missing, he always knows how to fix it, and he will never measure anything. And I go, how do you do that? I have to follow a recipe, and he just like, okay, it's all done.
Yeah, my husband does the same. He'll say, I ask him, when's it going to be done? I don't know. I'm like, do you not have a timer on? He's like, no, it's done whenever I look at it and say it's done. I'm like, okay.
So those guys have it down packed. Creative and curiosity. They just know it. It's just in their subconscious, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you have it, guys. You know what? You've got great examples from us. You got the poop method, which is, what is it? It's plan ahead, obstacle mastery, outcome orientation, and play with food. Okay, so again, if you want to know more about this show, Attract Your Ideal Weight, go to attractyouриdealweight.com and make sure that you click on community and join in, as well as look out again for my virtual book tour. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the most important thing, that my book is on Kindle, which will go to 99 cents during my tour. So I'm sure you want to get that. And that's right.
It's a great book. I have it.
And thank you so much, Penny. And make sure you get on to Hang Out with Penny and Hang Out with Judy. You've seen their websites as they've come on, so make sure you go on there. And the next show is, so this is episode 7. If you missed the other 6, again, you can go on my website and check them out. The next episode 8 will be a Q&A with me, because that is during my book tour month. So you can email me at znanji2@gmail.com. Again, that's znanji2@gmail.com, and ask me anything about attracting your ideal weight, and I will answer them on my show on episode number 8. All right, and with that, have a great night. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.